afternoon. Welcome everyone to the 2022 University of Washington Department of Communication graduation celebration. My name is Christine Harold, and I'm a professor and chair of the Department of Communication. And today is such a good day. My colleagues and I, communication faculty and staff, are so delighted to have made it here today to our first live commencement since 2019 as we celebrate our soon-to-be graduates. One of the many things we've learned over the last couple of years is how precious these opportunities to gather together in community truly are, to comfort one another's pain, to collaborate on creative and professional projects, and to do the important work of living together in a democracy, and especially on days like today, when we come together to share in collective joy as we recognize the accomplishments of these amazing students here before us. We have here on the floor over 300 undergraduate communication students, 70 master's students, and one PhD student earning her doctorate of philosophy in communication. So I'd like to first offer a warm welcome to our soon-to-be graduates receiving their diplomas today. Graduates, if you're able, or you're already standing, so please take a moment just for us to applaud you and to recognize you and to see you. Please, let's all give our graduates a round of applause. You all deserve that applause, and I don't care if you were on the dean's list or if you were a squeaker by, you made it, and we're thrilled that you're here. So, because rituals matter, let's talk tassels. On your cap, if you're wearing one, is a tassel. Since you're not quite a graduate yet, your tassel should be on the right. So if you need to adjust it, we'll just take a second to do that. And at the end of the commencement, we'll conclude by asking graduates to collectively turn their tassels to the left, and then you will be an official graduate. So go ahead and be seated, graduates. I'd also like to take a moment to offer a warm welcome to all of the families, grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, spouses, and partners. Any cousins in the house? As well as friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, and other loved ones who are here to share the day with our graduates. It means so much to be able to gather together and to mark this incredible milestone in their lives with all of you who have supported them, encouraged them, and loved them. None of us, no one here on this stage, no one in the audience, accomplishes something as momentous as completing a degree of higher education without the support of those who care for us. So here's to the ones who gave advice, solicited and unsolicited, dried tears, did laundry, drove carpools, prepared meals, paid tuition bills, put on an extra pot of coffee, shared wise perspective, lightened loads big and small, and encouraged the perseverance of our graduates in challenging times, and cheered for their successes in good times like today. So please, graduates, if you don't mind, stand one more time, and let's have you give a round of applause to those who have supported you, to those who have, as Mr. Rogers famously put it, loved you into being. Whether they're here in person or not, whether they're your family of origin or your family of choice, just thank you to those who have helped make today possible for all of our graduates. So here's how the rest of the afternoon will unfold. I'll share a brief message to the graduates on behalf of the department, and then I'll introduce our esteemed commencement speaker, Naomi Saka. After hearing from Naomi, we'll commence with presenting our graduates with their degrees, beginning with our PhD, then our master's students, and finally our undergraduates. The graduates will have their name announced, and then they'll walk, or dance, or skip across the stage. They'll have a moment to wave, smile, take selfies as they make their way across. So the students will enter the stage over here on this ramp, and and they will exit the stage via this ramp over here, and they'll stand with me kind of over here for a quick picture as they receive their diplomas. So for those of you in the audience, as your graduate comes across the stage, you are welcome to come down and sneak a picture if you want to. We'll just make sure that we're honoring everybody's personal space, but you're welcome to do that. We want you to have your moment. Also, if you didn't see it on your way in, we do have a do-it-yourself photo booth outside with props and other fun things. So please feel free to take all the pictures that you want outside afterwards as well. So when the conferring of the degrees is complete, we'll conclude our ceremony again with that turning of the tassel from right to left. And afterwards, we encourage you to use the space, use the arena to socialize, to say hello to faculty and staff, to take pictures and to celebrate. The arena is here for you to enjoy and to be together. While we're inside the arena, we do encourage you, if you are comfortable doing so, keeping your mask over your nose and mouth. We just want to make sure that everybody's safe and healthy, and I know that's a personal choice. So, a few comments for the graduates. Graduations are a time for looking forward, but as I think you probably know, they're also a time for looking back. And I encourage you, all of you here today as graduates, to just take a moment to reflect on how far you've come since you arrived at UW. Remember how you felt when you first got here, whether it was as a freshman, or a transfer student, or a new master's student, or like Carolina, as a doctor's student. You were excited, probably, and perhaps a bit, or maybe more than a bit anxious. And you were also likely curious. And it's this curiosity that I most encourage you to sustain as you move forward into your next adventure. And by next adventure, I really mean the rest of your life. I hope it was curiosity that drove you to pursue the study of communication, a thing so commonplace that it might not at first seem worthy of scholarly attention at all. But like all things, when engaged by a curious mind and an open heart, communication reveals itself to be a complex, nuanced, essential, even beautiful thing. It's an art, it's a science, and it's a practice of how to express yourself, how to be in community with other people, how to be a careful and thoughtful consumer of messages amidst the whirlwind of information, opinions, hot takes, hype campaigns, or trending this and viral that. Together, as scholars of communication, you have honed your capacity to speak and write clearly and ethically, and to think critically and develop your ability to discern the useful from the unuseful, the kind from the bigoted, the truth from the fiction. I don't need to tell you the world desperately needs thoughtful, compassionate communication leaders, but I will tell you, the world needs you. It needs people like you who have spent time reading, writing, talking, and thinking about things like how social movements can best use online platforms to mobilize for a better world. People who understand how disinformation spreads across society and how to fight it. The world needs people who understand the ways we talk about science and medicine influences real-world health outcomes. And it needs people interested in how Hollywood, Madison Avenue, Silicon Valley, and Wall Street shape how we see ourselves, our gender, our race, our sexuality, our spirituality, our bodies. And that they shape our perceptions of those we believe to be different from ourselves as well. We need communication. We need people who understand how communication shapes the bonds of families and interpersonal relationships, and people who have thought deeply about the importance of quality journalism in a functioning democracy. It needs people who are curious about the role communication plays in addressing climate change, a crisis that demands global collaboration and cooperation across cultural differences. So I urge you to stay curious about these things and so much more, and I do mean for the rest of your life. Because in my experience, the most interesting people are people who are interested, people who are willing to question their own perspective rather than insist upon its universality. I'm guessing if you're sitting here today, you are, like you were on your first day, excited, but also maybe more than a bit anxious about what lies ahead. That's good. That means you're human. Again, everyone on the stage and all those good people in the audience cheering for you know that fear, like pain, is an unavoidable part of the human experience. But the antidote to fear, as it happens, is curiosity. Tending to your fear involves stepping back a bit, getting curious, and observing yourself through compassionate eyes and asking, what do I need to move forward? What would help? What might I learn by taking a chance, by challenging myself? Who might I connect with in the process? And what contribution might I make? As one of my favorite writers, Mary Carr, has said, being smart and rich is lucky, but being curious and compassionate will save your ass. Being curious and compassionate can take you out of your own ego and edge your soul toward wonder. In these last couple of years, we've learned that we need each other more than ever, and more than we may have realized. And I want you to know that the world needs you, and we know that you're up to the challenge. I realized I didn't like you sit. I'm so sorry. Please, sit. Stay curious about your city. We'll be cheering you on as you go forward, because you now enter into a community of alumni of the University of Washington, of the Department of Communication, that is tens of thousands strong. Welcome. We are delighted that you're joining its ranks. We are proud to call you graduates of the University of Washington's Department of Communication, and we invite you to join this community and to stay curious with us for many more years to come. It is now my great pleasure to introduce today's keynote speaker, Naomi Saka. Naomi is the Assistant Managing Editor for Diversity and Inclusion and Social Justice columnist for the Seattle Times. She is a journalist and a photographer who focuses on racial equity and social justice. In 2020, she was awarded first place in the Best of the West competition for special topics column writing. And in 2021, she won second place for social justice columns from the National Society of Newspaper Columnists. Her writing and photography have appeared in the Seattle Times, Seattle Magazine, City Arts, Colors Northwest Magazine, Seattle Globalist, the South Seattle Emerald, and other publications. Naomi is a lifelong Seattle resident and has worked at several Puget Sound newspapers, including the Seattle Post-Intelligencer, the News Tribune, and the Bremerton Sun. Her documentary photography of the Seattle Black Lives Matter movement is featured in a number of shows and galleries, as well as in the powerful documentary film, 13. In her Seattle Times column, Naomi recently explored her own family's experience being incarcerated in an internment camp during World War II. In it, she asks probing questions about how to heal the legacy of intergenerational trauma brought by Executive Order No. 66. She writes, there are still many incomplete pictures we have of our country's history. Some we still have time to fill in, and fill in we must, to paint a more accurate picture of the legacy of our history. So please join me in thanking Naomi for being with us, and it's my great pleasure to welcome Naomi Saka to the podium today.
Thank you so much, Christine. Thank you to the UW School of Communications, and particularly Christine Harold and the University Cross for the honor of speaking with you on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. Being here is particularly meaningful because I've spent my entire professional life in journalism and communications, and I know firsthand the work we do is incredibly important. We have seen so clearly in recent years and days the life and death impact of timely, accurate, sensitive, evidence-based communication. From COVID and monkeypox to the changing narratives coming from officials in Uvalde, what and how we communicate to the public matters. And whether you are graduating today with a focus on journalism, or persuasive communication, or studying our digital culture, your work is a key building block to making sense of the world around us. And this is more important than ever. Misinformation and disinformation about elections, or COVID, or gun violence now have the power to travel at lightning speed. The saying, a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on its shoes, a saying that is ironically usually misattributed to Mark Twain, has never been more true than it is today. And yet the entities we rely on most to understand what's happening in our own communities are under threat. Local journalism, specifically local newspapers, have lost nearly 60% of their workers between 2008 and 2020. Even for the communities that weren't one of the 2,000 to completely lose their local newspapers during the same time frame, many are left with what are called ghost newspapers, or papers that still exist, but have very few staff and consequently cover very little. Between closures and ghost papers, many communities are now news deserts without coverage of local issues. Why does this matter? Aren't there more places to get information than ever before with the explosion of the internet? Yes, there are. There are tons of places to get information, but fewer to get deeply reported journalism. What is in jeopardy is the kind of public interest reporting that holds power to account, is a government watchdog, shines light on dark corners of our communities, and helps us know and understand each other better. That's the kind of journalism I went into this work to do. Communities that lose local newspapers see lower levels of civic participation, lower numbers of contested elections, and higher levels of financial mismanagement. There is some good news in the number of nonprofit and community-based online news outlets that are launching across the country. We have some standouts in our region, with the South Seattle Emerald, Converge, Publicola, and Prospect being some that are adding a tremendous amount to the journalism landscape here. But often the number of journalists they have the resources to employ do not adequately replace what is lost. According to Pew, for example, across all sectors of journalism, including online, there's been a net loss of 30,000 jobs since 2008. And that's not just a loss for individual journalists, it's a loss for our civic society as well. National media is never going to cover what's happening in our local communities as well as local journalists can. So if I were to employ you to do one thing today, it would be to support local journalism. Support it all. Community journalism, public radio, your local newspapers, journalism by and for communities of color and other marginalized communities. Pay for subscription, donate, read, listen, and share. They all need your support. Making sense of the world, and in particular, ensuring that the voices we hear the least are centered, is at the core of what I've always tried to do as a journalist. It wasn't a linear path, though it started off that way. At the beginning of my career, I had everything mapped out. I was going to start working in smaller newspapers as a copy editor and page designer, and then work my way up to a job at the Seattle Times. By about age 25, I'd achieved that goal, but then life took some unexpected turns. I was presented with the opportunity to take a leap of faith and become the founding editor of a brand new, yet non-existent magazine called Colors Northwest, which focused on communities of color and was founded by other people from the Seattle Times. It was a huge risk professionally and personally, yet the opportunity aligned the two things I was most passionate about, journalism and covering underrepresented communities, particularly communities of color. I followed those passions, I took a leap, and it was the best decision I ever made. I spent 8 years as the editor of Colors Northwest, and during that time, we were able to tell thousands of stories that weren't otherwise being told. I also grew a tremendous amount. As a small publication, for many of our years, I was the editor, the page designer, ad designer, event planner, garbage taker outer, and a multitude of other things. As time went on, I also started to take photos at events I would attend, always mindful that I was not a real photographer, like our staff photographers or the photographers I knew at the Seattle Times. But all the skills I picked up by necessity, especially photography, turned out to be a lifeline as the recession hit in 2008 and I left the magazine. It was heartbreaking to leave what was up to that point my dream job, but it turned out that all those random skills made moving into a communications role for an immigrant rights organization something I could actually be good at. As I did communications work, I kept up freelance writing and freelance photography, and after several years, eventually decided to take another leap and pursue my own writing and photo, design, and communications business full-time. But not too long after that, the opportunity to become a social justice columnist at the Seattle Times came along, and it was just an opportunity too perfect to ignore. As a social justice columnist, I have the privilege of amplifying both the challenges and the promise of communities and issues that often aren't seen and open our pages to voices too often not heard. I've had the privilege to write about folks learning to code after incarceration and the inequitable impact of climate change on communities of color. I wrote about a local nonprofit that raised all its staff salaries to $70,000, and another nonprofit that is ensuring diversity in classical music. And in March, as Christine mentioned, I wrote an enterprise column as part of a huge project on the Seattle Times' biased and inaccurate coverage of the Japanese American incarceration during World War II and the long, harmful legacy of that coverage. And a year after starting as a columnist, I was promoted to an assistant managing editor responsible for diversity and equity in the newsroom, in addition to my column. What I learned from all that is that every unexpected twist and turn ultimately turned out to be a gift if I stayed open to it and didn't succumb to the fear of the unknown. Every risk that seemed reckless at the time that didn't follow my original plan turned out to be one I'm glad I took, and each one changed the trajectory of my life. After 10 years of taking photos, I finally stopped listening to the voice in my head saying I wasn't a real photographer. I finally got out of my own way, and among other opportunities, ended up traveling to Cuba as a photographer for a project, and saw my photos of Black Lives Matter protests appear on a Netflix documentary. Uncertainty is hard, but when I saw trying new things and learning new skills as an opportunity rather than a burden, new possibilities opened up for me, possibilities that led me here today. There is no doubt that you are graduating at an extraordinary moment in history. We are still mired in a pandemic that has changed so many aspects of our lives and caused unfathomable loss. We are rethinking so many of the cultural and political norms we took as a given, from how and where we work to why we work and what is truly important in our lives. We are creating a new world, and you are helping to build it. As you look ahead to tomorrow and beyond in your role as communicators, what world are you going to create? I know I speak for everyone here when I say we can't wait to see the answer to that question. Congratulations to all the graduates. We are so proud of what you've accomplished. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Adrienne Russell. I'm a professor in the department and the graduate studies coordinator. And it's truly my honor to recognize students today who have earned their Master of Arts and Doctorate degrees in communication this year. It's a particularly daunting time, but also a rewarding time to be a researcher and teacher in our field, as media and communication are so inextricably tied to social, political, and economic problems that we're all grappling with. Graduates, as students, teachers, and scholars, you've taken on the issues of the day head on. Graduate studies during normal times is an immense challenge. During a global pandemic, even more so. Many of you never set foot on campus or met in person until your second year. All of you juggled hybrid classes, isolation, changing research plans, and personal hardship. And yet you came through with flying colors. I'm so impressed and inspired by your hard work and perseverance. It is truly a joy to present you with your degrees. Congratulations to each of you. So I'll read the names of the scholars and their either dissertation or their master's titles, as well as the chair of their committees. So first, Carolina Nieto Ruiz. The title of her dissertation is Building Connections, Building Obstacles, the material rhetoric of connection and disconnection in two U.S. border parks. Her chair is Christine Harrell. Mark Johnson also is receiving his doctorate today, although sadly he can't be here. Now I'll read the names of our MA students who are receiving their degrees today. Laura Irwin. The title of her thesis is Between Sovereignty and Coordination, Reevaluating the Treaty of Peace, Harmony, and Mutual Assistance. Her chair is Elena Joseph. Leandro Tosaya. The Rise of children have raced through technology. Her chair is Elena Jones. She sadly cannot be here today, but she's also receiving her degree. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Vicky Mission. I'm the Director of Communication Leadership Master's Program. It's now time to recognize and celebrate the graduates of Communication Leadership Master's Program. Our program brings together a global community of students who have in common their interest in stories, strategies, and communication and leadership. For the past 20 years, our program has been preparing our students to respond to the challenges and changes faced by organizations across sectors, from technology companies to nonprofits. Graduates, you had many obstacles along the way, yet you have not given up. Many of you attended classes in distance. Many of you have been distanced from your communities and home. Many of you juggle multiple responsibilities with school, completing your classes with a full schedule of work. All of you attended your graduate school at a moment of uncertainty. Last year this time, being able to recognize you like this was not for sure. I'm joyed today that we have the opportunity this year to recognize you all together with your peers and loved ones. Let it be creating more equitable systems. Let it be building the future of work. Let it be helping build and make sense of emerging technologies. Let it be leading organizations, and let it be advocating for different causes and justice. Whatever you take on, I know that you're going to do it with both rigor and kindness. Empathy is a shared value of our program, and that's the reason why our alumni truly make a difference all around the world. It has been my honor to be your instructor and director, and to make sense of this difficult moment together. I become hopeful, which can be hard these days, when I think about all of you out there in the world, creating the type of change we need. Today, as we celebrate all your accomplishments, it's of course sad to say goodbye. But as I told all of you throughout your time at the program, once you're a part of communication leadership, you're always a part of communication leadership. We'll be a part of you, and you'll be a part of us. I can't wait to see all the amazing things you'll accomplish in the years to come. Congratulations to all of you, and congratulations to all your people here with us today, families, partners, and friends. I'm inviting Associate Director Gretchen Ludwig to the stage to read your names as we give you out your diplomas. Congratulations again.
Ian Kirk. Crystal Valentino. Kevin Hayes. Stacy Kaiser. Milagro Castilleja. Alyssa Hagan. Caitlin Hall. Brooke Priestford. Rehab Haku.
Fisher. Samantha Shockley. Matthew Daly. Amanda Arndt. Kirsten Minton. Hillary Norman. Julia Tabari. Autumn Thompson. Tikra Navia. Marina Bauer. Amy Hitzdahl. Maria Jose Soto Monteverde. Jasmine Hyde. Kiara Shelby. Paula Shockley. Alice Stonehill. Annie Porter. Sarah Bland. Valerie Hu. Caitlin Reddy. Naharika Arora. Senator Cool. Anushi Mataleta. Naharika. Eita Dogania. Eita Dogania. John Romer Bertu. Haruka Kusawa. Angel Shi. Simone Staley. Sukai Gang. Jan. Yudan May. Lee Hui Shu. Mackenzie Weinert. Olivia Sakani. Shea Garjutan. Doris Torres. Wendy Song. Kashan Sun. Christina Costa. Zuya Zhao. Butler.
Kathleen Jenkins. Kane Ip. Jor Young. Yo Wang. Yo Wang. Hello, undergrads. It's your turn. My name is Haley Cook, and I'm an associate teaching professor and undergraduate program coordinator here at the University of Washington Department of Communication. I have the deep honor of working with and for our talented undergraduate students each year, and I'm here today to lead us into honoring you and all of your hard work for the last 4 or 5 or some years. A friend asked me a few weeks ago how I feel about this graduating class and your future in this world. And she said it was some weight, right? And for any of you who ever took class with me, you know that I love a good listicle. So I gave her my answer in a solid 3-point bullet list. And I'll share it with you today, briefly, before we get to your names. I told her, number 1, I adore this class because they know about change, adaptation, evolution. Them going online in the midst of a global pandemic with no warning. They weather political divides, racial injustice, the sheer terror of remote classes for a 2nd year in a row. You did that. No problem. You had it handled, and this class knows how to pivot. And I told her there won't be a day that goes by in this class' lives, in their professional lives, where everything will go exactly as planned, and they'll know what to do. While we, on this stage, may have wished to protect you a bit longer from the reality of these kinds of severe pivots in university life, we know that that kind of grit is going to serve you well. So that's the first thing I told her. And the second thing I told her is you'll never find a class that understands the times better than a communication major in 2022. These graduates know that communication is foundational to every part of our contemporary lives, from partisan rhetoric to data analytics to the community and interpersonal interactions that define our well-being in a pandemic world. Our 2022 Department of Communication undergraduate students are leaders in not only our field, but across the broad civic landscapes where we all seek out connection today. In all facets of our life, folks will turn to you as leaders in this world, probably sooner than you expect, like now. As faculty each year, we look out at the sea of your faces, and we process just how deeply you've influenced the University of Washington, the story of UW communication, and our own story as teachers and scholars. We hope to have done just a small amount of the same for you. We hope you can look up at the stage and see a sea of people who have nudged you to think differently, to see your fellow humans as the flawed works of art we all really are, and to go forward and make change. And the third and final thing that I told her that day is not quite as poignant as those other two, but to me it's the most important one of all. 22 is just simply, plainly, absolutely my favorite number, by far. I bequeath to you all the luck that has come my way through being associated with this number. Use its power wisely. We are so deeply proud of you undergrads, and we're rooting for you ushers. If you'll escort the first row up, we'll begin calling names. Folks in the crowd, give them some motivation. Kyle Bender. Olivia Peterson. Natalie Sherwold. Sarah Gandy. Vanessa Millsap. Kristen Brody. Kendall Hall. Taylor Hansen. Lydia Chinga. Adriana Gonzalez. Olivia Hawkins. Jane Ciara. Abby Langela. Haley Caps. Jacob Roll. Mackenzie. Morgan Massa. Travis Sennick. Rubio Mobu. Cindy Wong. Shivan Deng. Jenny Joe. Cindy Zhang. Regent Sue. Serene Chang. Harder Park. Rochelle Strong. Lucy Harris.
Alec Nato. James Yang. Johanna Lang. Cynthia Menestas. Natalie Castellanos. Randy Liu. Sunny Glow. Courtney Snow. Surin Hitbatai. Julia Westhoff. Holly Williams Green. Jean Wong. Sarah Fredrickson. Eve Howard. Joanna Fong. Kevin Kim. Aaron Thomas. Lee Cienfuegos. Joanna Perez Adesola. Molly Mill. Shiwan Chin. Yubong Liang. Reed Slim. Caroline Parkins. Isabella Carabel. Elizabeth Sutherland. Gabriel Harrington. Mackenzie Haas. Ye Sung Lee. Yenny Lee. Catherine Min. Yiling Song. Sophia Pancho. Luki Liu. Rochelle Mika Boyer. Christine Shu. Madison Heisterman. Tim Peacock. Katya Tulak. Hunter Boss. Caitlin Amundsen.
Good job, Caitlin.
Sweetie Chong. Celine. Max Zumet. Michael Munoz. Henry Jones. Adam Magello. Gabriela Vasquez. Sherry Cheng. Kimmy Ringo. Chinji Wang. Beijing Ren. Keeling Lee. Azad Puji. Kalina Nadava. Ashley Lee. Elena Gonzalez. Isabel Powell. Dalian Ilan Duarte. Isabella Gay. Sonia Johnson. Allison Partridge. Ryan Donovan. Tyler Alibur. Christine Scholl. Reagan Rodman. Bruce Clark. Tsunami Lau. Rossi Pistola. Catalina Vanderwan. Young Luke. Nico Hernandez. Jake Johnson. Zoe Seeley. Gabrielle Seth. Lauren Hunter. Thea Monconti. Kemela Rita Batron. Ethan Wu. Ruhan Ho. Huijing Chen. Kristen Nguyen. Eileen Fenn. Shannon Tang. Tao Trin. Clara Kashiyawa. Alexis Steven. Ashley Young. Emma Itali. Danielle Mandel. Samantha Spaniel. Veronica George. Sarah Burke. Paula De Oliveira Teal. Mariam Mohammed. Brendan Holmes. George. Mia Kimberlino. Haley Mallard. Nicole Higgins. Karen Logan. L. Nelson. Kiara Brinkman. Lauren Wilborn. Daisy Bradley. Frank Chen.
Arthur Carr. Mariana Malera. Pooja Khanna. Margaret Mandelalis. Clarissa Gunadarma. Dimitri Adekasmi. Joshua Kim. Johan Choi. Dylan Logan. Alexander Edward Holmes. John Rowe. Isabel Malek. Kelby Hintar. Helmers! Lisa Cooper. Francesca Baker. Naomi Saka. Angel Sue. William Rotten. Liliana Larissa. Kiana Middlestorm. Ashley Nelson. Juwon Kim.
Beifeng Yang. Grace McGuire. Hannah Shield. Helen Chen. Cassie Mao. Gianita Anastasia Angelique. Enrico Alvarez Artoga. Your final undergraduate, Catherine Needham.
Wow. Congratulations. Can we have just a big round of applause for all of our graduates? Before I invite you to turn your tassels, I've been asked just to make a quick announcement. That is to say that graduates, when you are done kind of socializing on the floor here with family, that you're asked to go ahead and take the main stairs up rather than go back down through the concourse. So you can go ahead and go with your families up the stairs to the main floor. They've also moved the photo booth inside. Apparently the wind wasn't agreeing with it, and so we moved it inside up there, out there by the in the main hallway. So please feel free to use that. So without further ado, graduates, I invite you to take your tassels, which should be on the right side, and turn